Hello, hello, testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna play games now, and I turn on the desktop audio. Let me do some other settings first for a little bit. I think I'm gonna get rid of chat because it's getting in the way of the game. Yeah, that's less ugly now. I'm gonna continue. I really wanted to play this game, but because I have to read everything, I have maybe maximum 2 hours, and then I start slurring my words. But let's see if we can finish the game at least. Keep your stand straight, princess. Jiren gives me the warning, but it's too late on purpose. I can see the smile on her face as she effortlessly slides past my defenses and taps me on the shoulder with her wooden sword. I got you. Wait, settings. Let me just check something because last time the audio didn't work. Okay. And do this. And I think it's good. Let me just recheck this one more time for the test. Oh, it's working perfectly, I think. I got you. Again? For the last few days, I've been practicing with Jiren and Garland because Claude hasn't come out of his room. The knight offered to train me, and they're teaching me about the ways to hold a sword. This is slow, but Claude did tell me that I wouldn't be able to master the sword so quickly. Claude. He made me so angry that one day that I couldn't even properly give him my gift. Yet, I still feel sad that he's not here teaching me himself. Come on, princess, focus. I jolt out of my reverie and nodded Jiren. Okay. I ready myself for the next strike, and once again, I'm tapped, this time on the hip. Garland takes over Jiren, and then we do rounds where I hit them with certain strikes. They're both good at teaching, but it does not feel the same as Claude's instructions. His lessons seem less like they are out of the book. Don't worry, princess. It always starts out slow. Lan was just slow at training, but look at it now. Garland whips his head around in Jiren's direction. His face is turning deep red. Jiren, that nickname. But you're so much fun to tease, Lan. She beams at him and then laughs at his embarrassed face. Our practice goes on for a few more minutes before the knights tell me to wrap up for the night. I think I'm going to stay out here for a little bit. Princess, you know it's dangerous here out at night. If I don't return in 10 minutes, you can come back and check on me. Jiren seems unconvinced, but eventually nods. Fine, but keep your guard up, princess. I watch the two knights as they pull back. I see Garland put his arms around Jiren's waist, pulling her closer. I turn away from the sight, ignoring the heavy feeling in my stomach. Damn, Garland's got that riz. I'll just keep practicing the swings for 5 more minutes. The only thing I hear in the clearing while I practice is my shallow breathing and the wind in my ears. Something breaks my concentration, however. I see a glimmer of the color in the forest, and I instantly stop, my hands growing tense on the wooden sword. What was that? I glance around my surroundings, and then I freeze when I feel a hand on my shoulder. I can feel someone's breath on my neck. It all feels familiar. Is this Claude? It's a bit creepy, but I'll put in my hand over his. I recognize this hand. Claude? I lift one hand from my sword to touch his hand. The breathing behind me hitches and then stops as the hand slides off my shoulder. I turn to face him, raising my sword in readiness, but by the time I have turned over, Claude's already one hand on my wrist, the other hand on the edge of my sword. As much as I enjoy the feeling of your petite hands, Princess, I would say you just let your guard down. Claude. Claude removes his hand, allowing me to lower my sword. I'm sorry, Roxanne. I feel my breath catch my throat when Claude holds out these rose pendants that I got from him. I feel my cheeks flush. Aww. You accidentally left this beautiful thing in my room when I... Well, I came to return it. Return it? Yes. You left it in my room and I thought it was only appropriate to bring it back to you. Does he really think I left it there on accident? Why would I leave it in your room by accident? What? I bought it for you, and I wanted to give it to you, but you were acting strange, and... Claude's eyes widen. The surprise is clear on his face. Roxanne, you bought this for me? Why does he look so shocked? Claude looks at me in awe for a few moments. His eyes goes back to the down into the locket. He traces his fingers around the intricate shape, his eyebrows slowly furrowing. It's thanks to you for everything that you've done for me. Roxanne, this is beautiful. He let the chain fall through his fingers, and he stares to the rose pendant with adoration. I feel my heartbeat stutter as he turns regard to me with the same gentle smile. He leans forward, and my breathing stops as he reaches out to hold up my glass slipper necklace. He's standing so close to me. You really are a good person, Roxanne. You completed your second good deed. I think some kind of congratulations is in order. Is there anything you want that I can give to you? I look up at him and notice that Claude's smile doesn't reach his eyes. He still looks so sad. I feel like there's so much that I want from Claude, but I do not want to ask him. That might make him sad. I want you to smile. Claude looks at me, his expression puzzled. He chuckles softly. But I am smiling. No, I want a real smile, one that isn't so sad. Ah, you saw right through me. We have been partners for long enough. How about this one? He smiles, a little awkwardly, and the quirk of his lips look more embarrassed than bright. I raise an eyebrow in confusion. No need for that look, darling. I do appreciate you worrying for me. Karma suddenly stops, eyes wide. He puts his hand on his chest and takes a step back away from me, his fingers clutching at the fabric of his shirt. Claude has a pained expression on his face. It only makes me more anxious. Not now. Claude, are you okay? What's wrong? Roxanne, don't worry about it. He lowers his hand with a pained smile slowly fading from his face. This does little to reassure me. Was it my fault that you were locked in your room for so long? He looks so pained to be anywhere near me. No, most definitely not. I was feeling under the weather. And also bitter. Bitter? Why would he feel bitter? It's not for you to worry about, darling. For now, we should head back. It's late. You need to rest. I just got back from patrol, so I would like to rest as well. Is there anything I can do for you? No, sweet Roxanne. You've already done enough for me. He clutches the rose locket to his chest and sighs out a little gentle smile. This smile feels real to me. This is a beautiful gift. I will treasure it always. Thank you, Roxanne. Now, shall we head back? I nod at him and we silently walk back to the margin. When we make it back to the tavern, I feel tired but also lighter than I have for weeks. Claude wishes me a good night before slowly walking to his room, holding the rose locket I gave him tightly. Today I'm walking around town to do some errands with Claude. It has been quite a while since we have done this. Though we are here to run errands, there is also something else that drew me to town today. Yesterday, Waltz came back to the margin and told us of an announcement the king wants to be making today. Apparently that announcement has been posted for at least a week's time, but Waltz only caught on to it after hearing about it from the crowds after one of his puppet shows. I'm not sure what this announcement entails, but I feel like I need to see the king make it with my own eyes. Is the deadbeat dad gonna be more deadbeat and give her position to his adopted daughter? Is it adopted? To his stepdaughter. I think that's the right term. I see more people milling about than usual. This means most of them must be waiting for the king to speak. I have a bad feeling about this. It is not strange for the king to make announcements, but this feels so sudden. And with everyone else that happened to me, I feel on edge. Oh, Roxanne, you made these bags sound a lot lighter than they'd actually be. Stop complaining, Miss Karma. You get valuable experience out of carrying bags. Seeing Claude complain is amusing, especially since I know he can handle the load. I feel like a servant. What does that make me when you made me carry all of the bags before? An assistant? I roll my eyes at him. We're both working at the Marchen, you know. And then the thought strikes me. What do you even do at the Marchen? Claude looks surprised at my question, but he quickly smiles at me. I train the knights, of course. I also attract customers with my beautiful reputation. I start laughing, and Claude's face flushes. Darling, I get the feeling you're laughing at me. I wonder. We finish the rest of our errands and then sit down into town plaza to rest. Claude leaves briefly and returns with a slice of cake for the both of us to share as a snack. I have a lot of things I want to ask him, and now feels like the right time to do so. May I ask you a question? Of course, darling. Anything. Do you enjoy dressing like a woman? I don't mind it, really. I appreciate the beauty in anything. You girls get to wear quite an assortment of lovely dresses and makeup. It's quite beautiful. I feel more comfortable in my own clothes, but I don't mind dresses. I guess if you had to wear a dress for so long, you'd get used to it. I have another question. What would that be? When I was in your room the other way, you spoke about a woman. Were you talking about the witch who cursed you? Oh no, the woman I was talking about. He suddenly goes silent and lowers his head. His expression fades into something more I don't know how to say this word that well. Melancholy, sure. And I feel my heart lurch. Maybe I shouldn't have brought this up. To my surprise, Claude continues talking. Shortly after I came to Angel, there was a woman that I met whose smile was as radiant as sunshine. She was beautiful, and when she left, everything felt right about the world. Hearing him talk about her makes me uncomfortable. Am I jealous? Claude watches me quietly, as if he's measuring my expression. Eventually, he goes back to speaking. I knew her for many months. Time passed, and I thought we were truly in love, and then He goes silent for a few moments, his eyes distant, his expression pained. Well, something's happened, and I realized she only loved me because of my curse. She was drawn to me, just as any other woman is. She seems so genuine in comparison to the other women, but in the end... Claude trails off and lets out an exaggerated sigh. You were truly in love with her? I was. I dated many women, but I've never fallen in love with someone as honestly loved me back, who has honestly loved me back. So then the last person he loved was that one woman. Claude looks at me for a few moments, and he does not speak. Roxanne, do you mind if I ask you a question? No, I don't mind. Have you ever loved anyone? My mother, of course. I was referring to the romantic kind of love. Romantic kind of love? What does that kind of love feel like? Allow me to enlighten you. He smiles at me, and it is surprisingly genuine. I can feel simultaneously like floating and sinking. Your heart stutters and you worry about the small things, about offending this other person in some way. You wonder if they'll like you, what you're wearing, or if they prefer a sandwich to a casserole when you treat them for dinner. You begin to find beauty in all of the things that they do. Their presence makes you feel complete in a way that you've never thought of before. You try to imagine a life without the person and finding that you cannot. You even consider such a thing is so painful, so much that it feels like it might break your heart. Claude continues talking, but my mind is already whirling. Although he's phrasing things in a way that makes it feels like unnecessarily dramatic, I feel like the tinge of familiarity. The things he's describing, those are the things I feel when I'm with him. Before I can say anything, we hear the sound of hooves and both of us turn. I can see the procession of knights, along with the king on his horse. He normally rides into town like this, but today he's not smiling. There are too many knights riding with him. And is that Sir Alcaster? Let us go find a place to stand and watch. As you wish. Claude walks with me in the crowd gathering around the king, and we found a spot to speculate at the very edge, closer to the alleyways. My beloved citizen of Angel, I've come before you here today to make an important announcement. Oh wow. Ever since I was given this crown, I was sworn to live my life for the people and to rule in all fairness, so that our kingdom could enjoy great peace. The cloud breaks into an applause. I stare at the king, an uneasy feeling in my stomach, when I notice that there is a sadness in his eyes, even though he is smiling. I then notice Sir Alcaster appears to be hiding a smile. I do not like where this is going. The king's speech goes for a long minute after that, with him detailing the commitments he made, the goals that he set, and finally his love for the people. The audience claps and cheers, but I and Claude are silent. Something's not right. I nod in response. To this day, I keep this promise. I would never break this oath. It is for the foundation in which I rule. The audience claps again, but I'm silent, watching the king intently. Unfortunately, the unwelcome news I bring to you today gives me a reason to hand this foundation over to someone else. I have fallen terminally ill. The king's proclamation is met with shock and anger chattering from the audience. I cannot hear anything that is said between the cacophony of voices, but I know the audience is dissenting. I'm stiffened and I stare at the king. He's lying. I can tell by the firm set of the jaw and the way his eyes flicker across the crowd faster than they ought to. The king has lied so many times before that I can realize it when he does it. I know that this unfortunate news must come to a shock, but it is an illness for which there is no cure and cure. As for the questions of my successor, he trails off for a few moments. I think I can see in his eyes a hint of urgency. I'm not sure why. The Crown Princess Emmeline is unmarried and still too young to rule on her own. I feel a pang of irritation and confusion. Another lie. Emmeline can rule just fine with the help of Sir Mithros and the others. After much thought, I've come to the conclusion that our best kingdom, which still continues to face danger from the Mishes, is best put in the capable hands of Commander of the Order Calderia, Sir Alcaster. What? I cannot hide my shock. The rest of the audience reacts similarly, their sudden outbursts of a testament to their confusion. While I'll be providing support and assistance from the sidelines, I know I cannot be in good grace continue to wear this crown, when I know I cannot serve the people as they deserve. Simply put, I believe that the witches have gained more power in these recent months, and Sir Alcaster is best suited to deal with these conflicts. The Ferret Hill curse runs more rampant these days, and there have been more reports of incidents revolving magic. The mummers continue, except now the townsfolk sound panicked. This cannot be true. I do not miss the reluctance of the king's next words. Sir Alcaster has also suggested a number of remedies in our laws, especially concerning security and work hours. I believe that Sir Alcaster can rule the country in these turbulent times. Please show him all the love and loyalty you have shown me. He really is a shitty dad and a shitty king, isn't he? That bastard. Claude with a foul expression on his face. His words feel heavy, and even in a slow whisper. I know the king. He takes every duty upon himself, and he would never hand his crown over to someone else. Once Sir Alcaster came to stand on the podium, he silences him with a glare. Citizens of Agile, I swear that I will serve you well as Gennaro has. That being said, I also believe some changes will need to be made. Sir Alcaster continues to speak. He mentions things like curfew for safety, extended work hours, and additional taxes going towards tonight, but I'm slowly beginning to block out and drone of his voice. What's going on? Sir, no. Alcaster must have done something to force the king into this charade. The king stands behind Alcaster with his hands clasped, his eyes alert, but there's a helplessness to them that I've never seen before. It isn't long before the crowd is unsettled, murmuring becomes agitated whispering. I'm stunned when Claude cups his hand over his mouth to start shouting. There's only one king. King Gennaro. Claude grips my hand and starts leading me around the outskirts so that people cannot spot him as he continues to shout. The crowd begins to chat along with Claude, and then they draw nearer to the stage where my father and Alcaster are standing. There is only one king, King Gennaro. There is only one king. Let's go, Roxanne. The crowd is next to the platform right now, and the chant carries on. Cloud pulls me behind him. My mind is on father and his desperate eyes. Hours later, the Marchand Tavern is havoc. People are talking over each other, trying to relay the scene that they witnessed in town today. Every visitor here is talking about what they witnessed. I've been in the corner in the room this entire time, trying to understand everyone, but failing. The Laura and Parfait are not here to calm all of this chaos. Hey, Princess, how are you feeling? I almost jump when I hear Rumpel's voice. Surprise? I can feel a damsel in distress, milady. I'm not really in the mood for your flirting, Rumpel. Oh, my apologies. I thought you might have wanted some cheering up. Where's your partner? He went out of town to survey the situation. Karma doesn't do anything around tavern, but he does a whole lot for you, doesn't he? I suppose that's at least a man in love can do. I feel myself blush. What is Rumpel going on about? Princess, you're pink. I'm not. My mind feels scrambled now. This is all Rumpel's fault. Thankfully, before Rumpel can continue talking, the doors open and Delora walks in to call the Marchand boarders into the reception room. When I stepped out of the reception room, I am in surprise with two familiar figures standing beside Parfait. Emmeline and Rod. Both of them look downtrodden and discouraged. Everyone is noticeably shocked as they step inside. The prince and princess? Where did they come from? What is happening at the palace? What of Queen Ophelia? We need silence in the room, everyone. Delora raises her voice, effectively causing everyone to pause. She glances at Parfait, who nods and then turns to Rod and Emmeline. Princess Emmeline, if you could tell everyone what you told Delora and I. The room is unnaturally quiet as Emmeline begins her story. She starts with the events of 1 week ago. In the middle of valley dinner, Alcaster bursts into soldiers and sees Rod and Ophelia in front of the king. Sir Alcaster said if the king didn't hand over his crown, he would kill us. We had no idea a coup would be staged. The knights literally warned him that there was a coup in stage, and he ignored them. The three of them are taken down to the prison cells, with Ophelia taken down to a separate cell. Sir Fitzgerald helped us escape, but only barely. Fritz, are you openly disobeying your father? I hope he is safe. Alcaster wanted to kill the king. I'm sure that's still what he will. But he has no reason to. The king has already handed over his crown. Before speaking, everyone stares at me, including Rod and Emmeline. Alcaster is a foul man. He only thinks of upsurging the throne without violence because he wants less resistance from the people. He never spoke up to my father before. Did you just say father? It's a long story, Em. Emmeline looks between Rod and I, her expression confused. You know each other? We do. Emmeline looks like she wants to say something but remains silent. Our mother is still inside the palace. We need to save her. And Sir Fitzgerald. What happened to Fritz? We don't know. He helped us escape, but he was spotted at the last minute. He told us to run ahead and leave him behind. We didn't see him after that, but we couldn't just wait, so Rob brought me here. Right now, we need to piece together the situation as quickly as we can, and then need to figure out the way to save the king. I knew Alcaster was up to something, but I never thought it would escalate into this. Jurian, what do you know about this? Garl and I wasn't stripped of our titles because we disobeyed Alcaster's orders. It was because we heard Alcaster plotting something and tried to tell the king about his plot. We gave him a warning, but the king did not believe us, not with Alcaster and Mithros whispering in his ears. The king is so... How did he become elected? Who gave him this power? The king didn't think Alcaster was possible of such betrayal. He thought he was trying to turn him against Alcaster for our own gain. And so Alcaster stripped us of our titles and banished us from the palace. Lady Parfait found us, and while we were happy to help out the tavern, we also intended to eventually do something about the mess in the palace. So Alcaster has been planning to do this entire time, and everyone fucking knew, and he was fucking told, and they still ignored it. When we part for the night, Parfait and Delora takes Rod and Emmeline to a room where they can share. It's been decided that since they are harbored here at the Marchand, a place which Emmeline apparently knew about but never came to because she wasn't cursed. Well, Rod did say the family knew that he was cursed. I noticed Emmeline looking at me many times throughout the night, but she never asked me anything. Don't speak to me. The next few days are a muddled mess. Everyone is busy trying to find out what happened and what can be done to help the king. I'm sweeping the tavern half-heartedly one day. My thoughts are everywhere but my chores. Everyone's trying to do something to help for the last few days. Though I've gone on a few trips to town with Claude to search for information, I haven't been able to find much. I feel so useless. I'm finally on break, so I decide to go into the reception room to rest. When I step inside, I notice Emmeline on the couch. She waves me over as soon as she sees me. She really hasn't openly spoken to me since she was here. Parfait and Delora has been trying to hide her, so to not cause a rough kids in the Martian. Rumors are dangerous now. You're Roxanne, right? Yeah. Rock told me about your curse. He said you're King's blood daughter. I'm really sorry. I'm shocked to hear Emmeline's sudden outburst. What? I didn't mean to, but I took your place. How could I forget my own sister? We're not blood related. That doesn't matter. I would love you regardless. Emmeline was always trying to take me out and do things with me back when I was still in the palace. I distanced myself from her because I thought the king loved her more than he loved me, but I still think maybe he does. We weren't close. I barely spoke to you, or Rod. Didn't he tell you that? He did. But perhaps we can turn over a new leaf? Emmeline is stubborn as always. I have more things to worry about than being her friend. I have to go. I walk off before the conversation can continue. If I hadn't been cursed ruining the palace, would Sir Alacaster taken me hostage too? The hours tick by as tavern is emptied for the day. Delora calls everyone to explain what she and Parfait has pieced together about the situation. Alright everyone, we've come for some new information. First is that Alacaster has cracked down the riots. Everyone seen protesting in town is thrown into prison. The king has always valued his people's opinion. Alacaster does not want opinions. He also wants to rule with an iron fist. Our patrols have shown that there's overall more security in the palace and over town. They have been charged with keeping people quiet in many ways they possibly can. We had also heard from the prince and princess that things are most turbulent in the palace. The king is still alive, but he is unlikely he will stay that way for very long. One thing is clear, given Alacaster's motives to take over the kingdom, I doubt he'll rest until the king is dead. The king's men has turned against him, and even if there were royal soldiers left in his palace, we cannot contact them right now. Rescuing the king and queen will be on all of us then. We just happen to have the people in the tavern who have a shot of rescuing them. Prince Rod has the key to the secret passage that we can use into the palace and break into the palace. Secret passage, but only the king and the commander of the knights have the key to the passage, so how did he get a copy? Who's going to join us on this mission? Fury and Galen both volunteer immediately, followed shortly by Claude and Waltz. I'll go too. The room is quiet as I step forward to volunteer. Princess, we can't just allow you to put yourself in danger. I look at Claude, who's staring at me, shocked. I took up a sword so I can protect those who I care about. Princess, you don't have nearly enough practice. But still, I can help. I still have time to learn. I agree with Parfait, Princess. The palace isn't the place for you to try your newfound sword skills. Then you may well chain me up, but I refuse to stay here while you all go save the king. Princess? Well, she has been practicing with the rest of us. Don't encourage her, Jurian. But it's not like any of us can stop her anyway. You're right, the prince is quite stubborn. Claude agrees with Jurian, but I can tell that he does not like the idea of me going with them. If he only had time to get more reinforcements from Karma's country. Karma's country? Brigantia. How is that possible that a Brigantian citizen can simply ask for reinforcements? Karma is the crown prince of Brigantia. There is some shuffling in the room as everyone turns and gawk at Claude. Rumpel, Anis, Rod, and Elaine looks all shocked about this revelation. You're the lost prince? Lost prince. It sounds like such a tragedy, doesn't it? Anis suddenly looks distressed as she fiddles with her thumbs. All this time, and I never knew. I'm so sorry, Your Highness. There's no need for formalities, Anis. But I'm the lost prince after all. I keep my lineage a secret because now I'm just a normal commoner. But you're the prince. Couldn't you still ask for reinforcements? Even if I did ask for reinforcements, I'm pretty sure they would never come in time. Besides, I can't go back to my kingdom yet. He cannot go back while he's still cursed. The conversation continues in more seldom tone. Eventually, we start speaking of her plan to enter the palace. When the details are finalized, I repeat everything myself to make sure that I know what is meant to happen. Waltz will lead us to the palace, and then Jurian and Garland will follow right behind them, watching the most immediate enemies. Leave it to us. We'll deal with any of his resistance before it touches you, princess. And Karma will be watching from the back, along with Delora. A witch and prince for backup. Delora smiles wryly. Claude rolls his shoulders. I like to think of us more as a closing act. Though, if everything goes according to plan, we'll no need for either opening or closing acts. It is a small task force, which is better. The smaller the better. The last thing you want is to be noticed. We decide to meet again over the course of the next few weeks to finalize our plans and carefully survey the situations in town before parting. Claude has taken me to training, Jurian and Garland at the same time. Just like the other day, he had all of us attacking him together. Even though I'm nowhere as good as a trained knight, I still managed to hit him once. I feel like things are coming to some sort of conclusion, and yet I still haven't done 3 good deeds. Today we finalize our plans for getting into the palace. We have mapped where the king and Ophelia must be in the prisons, where the guards might be positioned, and how we plan to sneak in. I sit down on my bed and about to lay down where I hear something. Hello, love. My, you're red. Are you thinking about me? I noticed that one hand on his chest tonight, but then he has been doing that more often lately. I noticed that during practices and sometimes when he catches my eye. Is he sick? Darling? I shake at myself at the sound of Claude's voice. What if I was changing? You could have knocked. Well, you didn't have a problem when you walked in on me changing without announcing yourself. That's different. He strolls inside and steps closer to me. He smiles at me mischievously. Oh, how so? Cat got your tongue? Shot shakes his head, his smile softening. I really didn't mean to come in to disturb you. I just have something important to say to you. Claude kneels in front of me and furrows his eyebrows. I want to insist you were considering going to the palace with us. As Parfait and Delora has said many times, it will be dangerous. Nothing you can say is going to change my mind. I want to do what I can to help everyone. Yes, and that terrifies me. Terrifies you? If your stubbornness will lead you to putting your neck out there for someone, I would never forgive myself for your injuries. If you want to help me, stay here, where you'll be safe. I'm not some damsel that needs to be protected. Roxanne, all I want you is to stay safe, so that when we save your father, you can face him with a smile. I won't be able to face my father, unless I'm one of those people trying to save him. Stubborn as always. I sigh, irritation welling up my stomach at the look at Claude's face. He's calling me stubborn, but he's being stubborn about this. You said I've improved with my sword fighting. You have. You've improved so much because of your resilience and drive, and because you're genuinely interested. It's because I have a good teacher. Oh, your compliments are as gentle music to my ears. Your compliment means a lot to me, Roxanne. My eyes fixate on his warm smile, and his gentle crinkles at his eyes. Our eyes lock for a few moments, and I'm aware of a slight energy between us. I glance away hurriedly, not entirely sure of what would happen if I kept staring at him. My heart is unsteadily in my chest. Earlier today, I comforted your sister because she started crying about the things that happened after in the palace. Emmeline, why would he comfort her? I saw her crying downstairs in the reception room earlier today without anyone there. She's rather a sweet girl. I keep thinking that 2 of you are completely different. You're both strong-willed and stubborn, but she wears the emotions on her sleeve while you keep it all inside of you. I'm not hiding anything, if that's what you're implying. Mother always told me crying was for the weak. Claude stands and leans forward, and before I know it, I'm in his arms. Roxanne, I'm always here for you. I feel flustered again. My mind feels foggy. I can barely comprehend what's going on in my head, in my mind, and my heart. I'm sorry. Oh my god, this is a rejection. Thank you. You never need to thank me, Roxanne. You've done so much for me. It's not just the sword fighting, it's your patience, your company, your saving me when I needed help. That's not true. I'm pretty sure I'm the most selfish person in the tavern. All I want are things for myself. I never thought you were selfish, Claude. He puts my hand to my cheek and looks at me sullenly. You don't think that me wanting you is... He suddenly steps back, his hands on his chest again, his breathing heavily. I stare at Claude wide eyes. Claude, are you okay? I'm fine. He sighs out slowly, but it's obviously pained. I'll go get Anise. No. I'm fine. I swear it's just a spell of dizziness. But you, he manages a small tight-lipped smile before he straightens and shakes his head. His hands are visibly shaken. I must be tired. But Claude, do not tell anyone about this, okay? I don't want them to worry. Why is he always so stubborn? He's obviously in pain. I clench my hands into a fist as I frown at him. Why must you always be so secretive? You're keeping something from me, Claude. I'm sorry, Roxanne. Claude abruptly leaves the room, leaving me with fragmented thoughts. Chapter 9. The Rescue. We're finally getting places with the plot. Today, I will land another hit on you, Karma. If you can, darling, I welcome the challenge. Princess, your side is open. I bring up my sword closer to my side as Garland strikes me. Today is the first night I get used to real swords as opposed to practice sword. The sound of metal clashing echoes through the night. Is this what a real battle feels like? We have been practicing under skirmish conditions for the last few days, but tomorrow is the day that we enact our plan. We are doing some last-minute practice. Remember, fighting back to back is better than doing it alone. Claude dodges Jurian's sword as he speaks, but I notice that he seems to be taking special care not to look into my direction. He's been fine for the last few days, but I'm not sure when his pain will return. If only he would tell me what's wrong with him. When Claude finally calls the end of practice, we are all exhausted. Good job, everyone. You'll all do fine tomorrow. Garland turns to me, a soft expression on his face. And if it all comes down to it, Jurian and I will protect you. Garland looks over his shoulder at Claude. Both of you, that's your jobs or knights. I'm quite capable of protecting myself, but I do appreciate the offer. It's late. We should all go get some rest. The two knights excuse themselves, leaving me with Claude. Roxanne, you should go to bed. Princess? I have a feeling I won't be able to get much sleep tonight. Be that as it may be, you should still try. I'm about to retire for the night as well. Well, I would say if I keep practicing, it's gonna make me more tired for tomorrow, so let's keep our energy. About what? Claude takes a step back and I stare at his hand absently moving through its chest. Are you really okay, Claude? I've been perfectly fine for the past few weeks. For this week. What? I've been perfectly fine this past week. He's lying. He's obviously in pain. Why do you have to keep your pain a secret? Why won't you talk to me? I told you, some things are better to be keeping a secret, Princess. Claude sighs out, then leans towards to set my hand on my head. Roxanne, promise you'll stay behind if you're attacked. And if at any point it looks like you might not make it, you're to run as fast as you can and come back to the marchand. But that is cowardly. Roxanne, don't you remember what I said before? Sometimes running is the right thing to do. Never run into an impossible situation. Instead, live to fight another day. Promise me you'll stay behind me. Please, Roxanne, give me the peace of mind. I'll promise that. I don't want to die in the process. If I want to make him feel better before going to this mission, I cannot deny his request. Claude's expression softens as he moves away from me. I'll stay behind you. Thank you, Princess. Let's attempt sleep in preparation for tomorrow. When this is all over, I'll pry Claude's secret out of him. Tonight is the night, and everyone is just about ready to go. I can't get this feeling of foreboding off my chest. Everyone is gathered close to the door, ready to see us off. Everyone except Princess. Rumpel suddenly appears. Anis is coming up to stand right next to him. What are you two doing here? Well, of course, we came here to wish you good luck, just like everyone else here. I'll be waiting for you tonight so we can celebrate everyone's return. Be careful. Emmeline, who's been everywhere with her brother since they came here, is standing beside him now with a smile. I'll pray for your safe return. Her smile wavers, but I can tell she is uncertain. She has the great knights of Caldera, 2 witches and a prince. She'll be fine. Rod's responses are curt as usual, but I cannot help but to notice the hesitance in his voice. Even though he stares at me without expression, I can see a tinge of worry in his eyes. I don't give a shit. Rest assured that we will keep the princess safe. We're not going to let Alcaster get away with what he did to Angel and the royal family. Parfait steps forward last. She and Delora glance at each other, and I feel as if some sort of secret messages bounce between the two of them. Delora nods ever so slightly before Parfait turns to the rest of us. Her eyes are falling on me. You changed since you've been here, Princess, but your dedication and resolve never wavers. It's always been there, just beneath the surface. Stubbornness or resolve. It's as if Parfait is able to read my mind. She smiles and sets a pat on my shoulder. Your dedication is much like King Gennaro. You're proud and honorable, and always takes steps in the right direction. That is why I know you'll be back tonight. The Sassenpul said, we'll all be waiting for you, all of you. Stay safe tonight. I nod my head as everyone is gathered around me, beginning to repeat their hearty goodbyes. It is Delora who walks away first. We follow by. The night has just begun. Our way to the palace is uneventful, but we pause some distance away from them to take shelter in the nearby alley. There are knights everywhere. Waltz points to what looks like a regular section of the wall. There's a hidden door in the tunnels. If we time it right between Knight's patrol, we should be able to make it. On my signal. Claude put his hand on my shoulder and squeezes it. It's an abrupt gesture and it doesn't last long, but the motion calms my nerves somewhat. We will be fine. Our footsteps echo into the tunnel. Standing in front of me are Jury and Garland, who is flaunting Waltz. Delora stands beside me, and Claude is at my back. This small tunnel makes it seem like we brought a lot of people. This way. We finally follow Watts' instructions. How is it that Watts knows about these tunnels? We've already taken into account the guards and where they might be positioned based on Prince Rot's information. We should be all right, and Garland and I will act like distractions if needed. Princess, leave the most of the fighting to us if there's anything to be done. I know. I will only fight if I need to. If only I wasn't cursed. I'd be able to fight with my full extent. I still think you're capable without your magic puppeteer. Oh, a compliment? It's an honor. Miss Karma? I'm only in this just because of Jurian, you know. Jurian crosses her arms and cocks an eyebrow at Claude. I wouldn't fall in love with you no matter what you say. That's what they all say. We're here. Suddenly, everyone goes quiet. I feel a lot heavier as I stare at the staircase in front of me. They should lead to the throne room. I did not know we had a secret passage into the throne room. How much does Waltz know about the palace? Immediately after we step into the throne room, we split apart to avoid the guards' gazes. I stick close to Claude and Waltz as Delora conjures a blanket of shimmering fog that envelops the guards. I watch as the guards' eyes close before they slump to the ground. Delora drops her hand once all the guards are truly asleep. Amazing how intolerant humans are to magic. Let's keep going. Getting into the palace is no easy feat. Hallways that are easy to get through are difficult to traverse now, with all the soldiers standing round. Delora casts the scales to silence our footprints into quiet muffles before moving, but moving is still difficult, especially with a group. Eventually, we arrive outside of the tunnels and we should lead to the castle's prison. I'll stand watch. Be careful, Waltz. I will. We enter another network of tunnels. Jerry and Garland after you. Yearling glances at me briefly, and then Claude, who nods a little stiffly. We'll be right back. In accordance to the plan, Claude and I are left at the hallway point of the tunnels to ensure a clean escape as Delora, Jerry, and Garland continues into the prison. They should be fine, but I'm still worried. My eyes wander to Claude as I bite down the lower lip when I notice that his hand once again is raised to his chest. I find myself reaching out to grab Claude's hand, but he swiftly pulls it away. The glare on his face takes me by surprise. Why is he so angry? Claude puts his hand on his chain and flinches as he leans on the wall. Not now. His voice sounds pained. What is he talking about? Claude? I just need some space, Princess. But I'm fine. I cannot help but feel irritated at the way Claude snapped at me. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it to be this way. He trails off, his eyes distance. It's because of a curse, right? Most of the times he's sociable and a pleasure to talk to, but then he reverts to a spade. It's like two different people. I cannot understand why he's like this. Why do I care so much for someone who keeps secret? Roxanne, I wish I could explain, but if I did, you would hate me. Or more accurately, you would be afraid of you. could never be afraid of you. I had... Yeah, it's fine. I'm pretty traumatized with family and everything. Let's see where you go. What is there to be afraid of? Claude wears a pain expression as he looks at me. I see him once again grabbing his collar of his dress. He looks at me like he's in quite agony. That's what she said too. Are you talking about the woman from before? The one who didn't love him? He thinks I'm the same? I'm not like her. Roxanne, Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. God damn it, I said the same shit she did. His hands move quickly to the hilt of his sword as I reach for mine. We only relax when he sees that it's Geary and Garland and Delora headed towards us. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They weren't in prison. I have no idea where else they could be. Delora steps between the two of them, her expression somber. This doesn't bode well for us. We can't keep sneaking around a direction. That's sure a way to get caught. The words have just left her mouth and the alarm sounds behind us. Don't tell me. It's the alarm. Everyone draws their weapons at Waltz, appears running towards us with a harried expression on his face. The knights are on their way. How did they know we were here? In a second, I hear a clanking of metal, and the knights are upon us. We are forced to scatter to the different opponents. The guard rushes me with his sword, and I somehow manage to block his attack. I should be able to get to wind around him. The knight falls after I catch him from behind and gives Claude an opening to attack him. Roxanne, stay behind me. I promised I would, remember? Let's keep it that way. A smile flashes through his face. For a few moments, he seemed more like the Claude than I know. A knight manages to separate Claude and I, leaving me by myself. He grasps my arm. Unhand me. I watch in shock as a simmering fog surrounds my attacker, his eyes closing, and he slumps into the ground. He is the only first to fall. Seconds later, most of the knights in my immediate vicinity has fallen to the ground. I can tell by the subtle rise and fall of their chest that they are asleep. Sorry, I couldn't focus enough to cast that spell earlier. Delora drops her hand and turns to address Waltz, Claude, and I. Head towards the entrance hall. The king must be in one of the central rooms. Jury and Garland and I will head to the bedchambers of the east wing to look for the queen. Splitting us up was not part of the plan. We don't have much of a choice anymore. If we're gonna get to the king and queen out of here, we have to improvise. Now go. Claude grasps my hand and jerks his head at Waltz. Let's go. The three of us rush out, and it's one of the palace hallways. I keep the gaze forward while Waltz and Claude watch for enemies on either side of us. On our right, Claude grabs his sword and moves before Waltz and I can respond. He dives low towards the soldier, his sword poised straight from a devastating blow. The knights begin to approach us from the left, and I raise my sword, readying myself. Waltz snaps his fingers. A flash of bright light blinding the men in an immediate vicinity, and I use this opportunity to rush the knights in front of me. I grip my teak as I attack. Most of the blows are lucky, but there are too many knights for me to be able to get an upper hand. There's so many of them. Well, isn't it the most desirable princess? I whip around to attack the man who spoke to me, but he's nowhere to be found. Where is he? Who are you? I wonder. Roxanne. I turn and see Claude running towards me, a panicked expression in his eyes. I take a step towards him when a masked man suddenly blocks my path. Who are you? I raise my sword, but my masked man taps his cane on the floor before I can swing. Why can't I guess who that is? I'll pretend I don't know who that is. An incredible pressure blasts me through the cane and shoves Claude to the floor and blows me backwards. I hit the wall hard and my vision darkens. Claude. Where am I? Why can't I see anything? My head hurts. Rise and shine, sleeping beauty. I jerk upright at the familiar voice. You're the man who knocked me out. The man laughs as I blink and try to pinpoint the direction of his voice. Did he blindfold me? I command you to take this blindfold off. I won't take orders from a princess that no one remembers. But I am a gentleman, so I suppose I will have to heed a lady's request. The blindfold is abruptly pulled off, and I flinch all at the sudden brightness. Why, hello there, princess. My captor looks at me, amused. He's wearing a crooked grin on his masked face and his cape on his shoulders. Who is he? My eyes wander to the throne. I cannot help but gasp at what I see. The king is strapped to the throne, hands bound, mouth covered. Your Majesty! The king pauses to see me. His eyes contain a mixture of alarm and confusion. I turn to glare at the masked man. Let him go. No can do, princess. Though, don't you think he looks real regal sitting on the throne like that? I grit my teeth and begin to struggle against my bonds. Struggle all you like, you won't get out of here in these knots anytime soon. Who are you? The masked man drops his elegant bow. I am called Varg. Varg? What have you done to my father? Me? Nothing. Well, nothing much. I guess gagging a person and tying their hands behind their back counts as something. Are you working for Sir Alcaster? I don't work for anyone. So he's a mercenary. The door flies open and Alcaster steps in, his face full of anger. Mithros, the fool, how absolutely useless he was. Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile. While I do agree wholeheartedly that the man in the past is in the past, here in the present we have someone far more interesting to deal with. Varg gestures at me. I glared at Varg before I turned my gaze to Alcaster. I used to think that Alcaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore. Well, if it isn't the princess herself. You remember who I am? Once Mithro made the connection, it was just too obvious to be false. Could Sir Mithros remember me? Alcaster shifts his attention to the king. Gennaro, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter? My eyes meet the king's, but I see no recognition in his gaze. He cannot remember me. I haven't managed to break my curse yet. Why are you doing this to my father, to the kingdom? Everything I do is I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers have run with an iron fist. Fear is the best motivation. A king is too lenient and does not inspire fear, has no business in being on the throne. But the people of Agile love their king. Before I had the thought that the town people were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand those reasons. They may have judged me as their mother's daughter, which was wrong, but that does not mean they should be subject to a regime of fear. Your obligation as a ruler is to the country, not to the people. Back when the queen was still alive and this place knew what fear witches, they were much more productive. Fear motivates. Fear makes a man. King Alistair, you better have a good excuse for interrupting. Your Highness, there's a beast. What are you blathering about, you fool? A beast, a magical beast is rampaging around the palace. Is this the dead witch's doing? Dead? Witch? No, Dolores fine, she has to be. Out with it. Did Mithros do this? What? I cannot stop myself from blurting out the question. Sir Mithros is a witch? He was a witch, and now he is dead. He turns into a knight and demands more information. I too am shocked to hear these words. Sir Mithros, a witch? Impossible. What about the other palace intruders? We've managed to apprehend some of them, but we can't get to everyone with the beast taking us out. That damn Mithros, still a pain, even after death. What did you do to Sir Mithros? Did you not hear me, girl? He is dead, killed by my hand. But why? It was helpful at first. We worked together to achieve their own personal goals. He eyes me cautiously. He wanted you, princess. Sir Mithros was a witch. That would explain why he remembered me. Why did he want me? Who knows? It doesn't matter anymore. I gave him to my knights to assist him in his search when the witches could not, but in the end, he was a fool too, power-hungry. You never entered my plans. You could have been saved, princess, if you had stayed put. But now you're here. They'll come in handy. Alcaster turns back to the knights, who immediately burst into explanation once more. The beast is moving quickly. We do not know how much longer we can take it from this room. There's a beast in the palace, and Sir Mithros is doing? I'm so confused. What about the others? Are they okay? Let me go, Alcaster. You're not going anywhere. It sounds like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you, and when they get there, I'll kill them. You, princess, are going to make excellent bait. You know, I like these turn of events. Kind of amusing. You, tell me what all this... Oops. Tell me what all of this... Varg looks unmoved by Alcaster's anger. It is Mithros has summoned this beast, is it not? Then you must know what is happening. You're asking me, of all people? Ha! If I knew it was able to answer any of your questions. You? Varg. It doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alcaster. I won't have any answers for you. Sir Alcaster turns to me, his eyes manic. Whether this is Mithros magic, or magic belonging to one of your friends, I'm not gonna let it live. Could Delora create a beast out of thin air? Sir Alcaster draws his sword from the sheath and curses under his breath. I squirm, desperate to find some kind of a break in my restraints. Varg surprises me, however, by reaching down and cutting the ropes binding my arms with a sword that I recognize. You have my sword! I stand up quickly as I grab my sword from him. That was too easy. I eyed Varg warily as his mouth twists into a smirk. What are you doing? Why are you helping me? Help. All I did was cut some ropes. Besides, I'm curious what you'll do with a toothpick of a sword. He talks like he doesn't care about what happens. Don't think about it too much, Princess. You'll probably do a little too much for your small head. I swing my sword towards him, and Varg catches it with his cane. You really think I'm the one you should be fighting? The door creaks and falls off its hinges. The knights stumble back. I hear screaming and loud footsteps against the town halls. So, what'll you do? Run? Hide? Or will the beast kill you too? My eyes focus on the large figure entering the room. Though I cannot make specifics at first, a form grows more distinct and further moves into the room. Whatever this is, I cannot fight it. There's a moment of eerie silence, and then Alcaster yells to knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. The beast throws him off with surprisingly nimbleness, his rage in every swipe. I dodge away before the man's body falls on top of me. Over here, beast. Sir Alcaster rushes at the beast. I finally manage to get a clear line of the king, who is still bound and helpless to the throne. The king. I have to get him out of here. I run towards the throne, but someone stops me dead in my tracks. Saving the king really shouldn't be your priority right now. I grit my teeth and swing my sword at Varg, but he easily darts it away from me. I would be watching my back. Then I notice the beast is slowly making his way towards me. Why would it be after me? Either way, I stay here or fend it off, or... Alcaster catches the beast with a broad swipe of his sword, and the two are focused on each other once again. I glance urgently at the king and then the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize that it's heading towards me. There's no way I can help the king in all this mess. I need to help. I need to find others. Hopefully Alcaster will keep this beast busy enough to get me through them. I turn and bolt through the room, weaving my way through the chaos of the knights as I head towards the door. I glance over my shoulders one last time at the king. His eyes are trained on the battle before him. His hands grip the arms of the throne, and there's nothing he can do. I'm sorry. I'll be back. But for now, I have to find the others. I dart past the carnage in the room, stepping over all the bodies as they appear. Hallways to the doors, the beach lunges past Alcaster, and for a few moments, I think he might be attacking me. Stay back. I hold my sword out in front and stand in a defensive position like Claude told me, but the beast never reaches me. You've ruined everything, beast. Alcaster suddenly is in front of me, waving his sword at the beast. I stumble back towards the door, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here. Chapter 10. The Beauty and the Sinner. Huh. I just realized it's like Beauty and the Beast. I didn't make that connection before. Where did the beast come from? Knights immediately rush towards me. I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly, and we'll keep you somewhere safe until all of this dies down. I raise my sword and stand readily when the knights surround me. I order you to stay out of my way. Our apologies, Princess, but we are under the orders from the king. Alcaster is not the true king. What did he offer you for your loyalty? Wealth? Status? That is none of your concern. One of the knights moves towards me and I react on instinct, swiping at him. You might want to put that down before you hurt yourself, Princess. Do not antagonize me. One knight rushes me and my blade connects to his shoulder. Another approaches me from behind and I hit him in the back of the head, on back of the sword. The third moves too fast for me. I can feel his blade cut into my shoulder. I hiss at the pain and sings from the sword. I'm bleeding. The next time he swings, I successfully manage to evade him, but then bump into another knight. I'm surrounded. Just come with us, Princess. We don't want to hurt you. No. I feel one of the knight's hands on my shoulder. I attempt to pull away from him, but stop when I hear him scream. The beast stands behind me, his eyes are narrowing, its mouth gaping wide. A scream escapes from my throat. The knight changes their focus to attacking the beast, but I can easily swipe them away as it advances towards me. It's getting closer. I desperately back up. However, my back hits the wall and nowhere to go. I I stand in the defensive position that Claude has taught me. I hold out the sword and then use it to throw it back the beast's shadow claws as he reaches out for me. That stance. It talks. Stay away from me. The beast moves towards me as I stumble into place, struggling to hold my ground. A knight throws his sword, the blade impaling into the beast's shoulder and giving me an opening. The beast's arm swings into my reach and I lash out with my sword, managing to draw blood. Princess. Delora could never create a beast like this. This has to be Sir Mistos' doing. An attacking knight catches the beast's attention. I do not wait. As the beast turns, I raise my sword and manage to slide it deep into the beast's chest. A piercing cry erupts from somewhere deep in its throat. I stumble back with my sword, which is still stabbed through the beast's heart. The beast collapses to the ground. I raise as it raises a hand into its chest. The motion reminds me of... Right, it was all an illusion. A glimmer of light catches my eyes. I freeze as I stare at the ground. No! Fuck. Right there, where the blood is already pooling in the sword and the beast's chest, is the rose-shaped locket. The locket I gave to Cloud. Why do you? The beast stares at me with glassy eyes, its mouth barely moving. After a few moments, a low rumbling comes to the beast's throat. I realize that it's grisly, pained chuckle. Afraid of me. I told you. The beast stares at me, unblinking, but its eyes are already beginning to haze over. The way it speaks, and the locket that it has. I look at the locket again, at the blood seeping beneath the surface, and I realize... If I ever told you the reason, you would hate me, Roxanne, or more accurately, you would be afraid of me. No. No! I kneel down beside the beast. I was wrong. No, Claude. I clutch into the locket of my chest as I kneel over the beast. No. I lean down to listen to his breathing, but there is nothing but silence. Everything around me goes dark. I killed him. There's a sound of footsteps behind me. They are mute, unimportant. Claude, I'm so sorry. The end. Bad end. I killed the first man I ever loved. Bro. Why are you so good at sword fighting? Why couldn't you be bad and miss his vital? Why did you have to plunge for his heart? I'm gonna reject this ending, and I'm not gonna say the same thing that girl once said. No! I straight up killed this man! Okay. Why would I be afraid of you, please? I can't. My heart can't take another bad ending. You've never done anything frightening before. You aren't a frightening person. The only time you ever frighten me is when you're like this, when you look like you're in pain, and you keep your secrets. The secrets are my own selfish desire, but they're for your safety too. You're talking in circles. Why don't you tell me what's going on? Oh, wait, the feeling's still kind of raw. Shit, man. No, he's still alive. We're in a different time, multiverse. We went back in time. I'm a witch, I can do that. Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. Let's see if I can fast forward this. Not next choice. Skip. Please don't be a only end I can get. Please say this change means something. Okay, don't kill him, 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 don't kill him. No! I made so many errors along the way. I'm gonna get the good end. I don't know how, but I will. I will definitely not kill this man. God, why is it so hard not to kill people? I'm doing my best. I want a hug? Huh? Claw looks at me in surprise. He thinks I'm being foolish for making such a request, doesn't he? I shouldn't have said anything. But before I can say anything, Claw takes me a step forward and wraps me around his arms. He pulls me towards him, and in those moments of silence, all I can hear is his heartbeat resounding to my chest. I can feel all the warmth around me, and his finger clasped gently at my back. I feel so strange. My heart is racing, and my knees feel weak. Something like this? He speaks right into my ear. It's a surprisingly pleasant feeling. Suddenly, Cloud makes a lot more noise and distress when he steps away from me. All of his warmth that's pressed against me in one moment is gone. Okay. Let's try to make right decisions. Let's not keep on killing him again and again and again and again and again. Thank you. I want to talk to you. Let's stop practicing the sword because we're getting too good at it. I cannot promise that. Princess, I'll be fighting right beside you if the time comes to it. I'm going to protect him. Staying behind him will only have to have him suffering because of me. Stubborn until the end. I only want to be in eating footing with you. Claude sighs, but he does not say anything. Okay, you have to. You have to not die. You cannot die, please. Oh god, why would I be afraid of you? Something. Don't die. Stay alive. Stay alive. Don't perish. Don't perish. No, he's gonna die. He died. Load. He died. I killed this man again. Okay, there are some choices that I think when I was doing the first playthrough that it could be better. Let me give Karma the cupcake that he wanted. Maybe this will make it feel better. The fancy cupcake with the lizard. I'll have that one. The one with... Oh my, is that a chameleon? A chameleon? Yeah, it's a chameleon. Oh, that's adorable, sir. We'll take one of those. I was thinking he'd like it for the color, not the chameleon. Whatever that is. Okay. Karma cuts the chameleon on top of the half. I notice that he gives himself the head, which is a lot cuter, and I get stuck with the tail. Chameleons are cute little lizards that can blend into their surroundings. Is he willing to go that far to avoid the subject? When I was a child, my father used to call me a chameleon. What? I hid a lot to responsibilities. After, no one could find me, not my father, nor the servants. If he had servants, that would make him a noble? One day, I was searching for the mythical creature in our garden, and I came upon a chameleon. A small little silly lizard, but I only found it because I was looking for something fantastic. A lizard on a cupcake doesn't sound fantastic. My father explained to me what it was, and then he started calling me his little silly chameleon. It was ridiculous, but he said it was always because I was good at hiding, and so it suited me. What is it, princess? It seems like you're still good at hiding. You hide behind your disguise and keep so many secrets. I suppose I'm still a chameleon then. I don't think that nicknames make any sense. Sometimes they don't have to. Nicknames don't have to make sense to be endearing, princess. Okay. And now I will be nice and I won't tease him and he won't die. Overwrite this shit. Attempt to leave with Karma. I think we had better get going. Karma nods his head. I'll have explaining to do if you just sit here. Is there nothing I can help you two with? No, obviously not. I'm sorry. He does not look amused. Why? I'm only trying to get us out of here faster. Leaving. Okay. And flip. You sound sick. I think the previous answer was better because he saw me laugh, and this one just made me sound very bitchy. Which I am, but oh, okay. Save this. Yes. I'll overwrite everything. Fight back. Let's see what happens. To fight back, maybe I can still draw people's attention. I squirm. It does not work. For a few moments, I am free and I try to run, but soon the man grabs me in the same position, punishing grip all over my mouth and nose to stopping me from screaming. You're a real feisty one, aren't you? I feel like I might faint. In one last attempt, to get free, I tug the man's hand on my own and manage to shift it just enough so I can bite it down. Ow! The man screams in pain, his grip finally loosening. I can hear him curse as I run away from him. He has gone in the wrong direction. As soon as the dead alleyway, I can hear the man running up against me. What is this I see before me? Okay, so he saves me either way. You saw me? Yeah, you were coming at the end of the alleyway. But I didn't manage to escape. It doesn't matter. You clearly made an effort. But I digress. You're quite welcome, princess. It was my pleasure. Okay, this was the better choice, for sure. It's the eyes, like I thought in the first place. You always look at the person's eyes first. So the eyes? Eyes are the mirrors to the soul, as they say. Does that mean you always look into my eyes, princess? The minute he says that, I look into his eyes. Karma flutters his eyelashes at me, and I look back down and grumble. What was that, a trick? I made you look. What did you think? Think? Of my eyes. Did they draw you in? I've never looked at Karma's eyes closely, but he keeps talking about them, and I cannot help but to look closer. His eyes are a very pretty color. You don't have to answer that, princess. I'm kidding. Of course. Your eyes, on the other hand, are beautiful. You and Rumple really are the same person. You both spout nonsensical compliments. Nonsensical? Oh, princess, I'm so offended. I mean what I say, unlike that fool. Anyway, I'll let you choose the order of things. Okay. I can feel this is a good run. I can feel it. It's in my kokoro. I wonder what happens if you try to convince them. Fighting back is useless when I'm outnumbered. I have to try to convince them that I'm not who they think I am. You're mistaken, sirs. I happened to overhear your conversation and assuming I'm some imaginary princess and unreasonable. The knights look at each other. You know, she has a point. She was listening to our conversation. That's clearly suspicious. Did you not hear what I said? I happened to overhear it. Nothing more. You were cloaked as if you were trying to hide your features. Being out at night without a cloak is a way to draw people's attention, as my lady such as myself. You know, she has a point. Stop saying that, man. Then, ma'am, there will be no problem with us taking you back to the palace. If we are mistaken, we'll clear up this misunderstanding and pay you handsomely. Okay. I can do this. Daijoubu, daijoubu. Don't die. Don't die, Karma. Don't die, Karma. Don't die, Karma. Don't die, Karma. I'm not gonna move. That's fine. You have to tell Jarian. Claude has told me that confessing is hard, but what Garland is doing, though, even looks harder. Princess, you know I'm incapable. No, I don't think you think you're incapable, but you've never said anything to her. You'll never know. If I say something wrong, I'll risk losing everything I already have with her. And if you say nothing, you risk losing what you could have with her. Roxanne is right. Maybe you should really tell her, Garion. Okay, that was the better answer. I'm so desperate right now. Topple him. His hand is a clear opening, but I cannot damage his hand any further. I try to shift my weight against him. If I take him by surprise, I push back against him, and suddenly, I possibly can. Karma makes a sound. Maybe a disapproval, but he does not budge. I change tactics, stepping on his foot instead, but he only shifts his stance. Before I can think of what to do next, Claude moves and I'm suddenly pinned to the ground. Karma 1, Roxanne 0. That was a pretty good attempt, Bluff, but not good enough, I'm afraid. I wasn't expecting you to come at me like that. I was expecting sword practice. You weren't expecting a man to kidnap you in the alleyway, were you? Okay. I will try to comfort him. I don't care if he yells at me. Something must really be bothering him. I should be patient with him, just like he is with me. Before I can even think about what I'm doing, I reach out to grab his hand. Did he just slap my hand away? You shouldn't reach out to a person without giving them some warning, but he does that with me all the time. I pull my hand back at the same moment. Claude's expression falls. He looks at me with a pained expression on his face. No, wait, I should have said that. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, the errand first was most likely the better choice. I came to speak to you. I came to give him something, but I also want to speak with him. I haven't seen Claude in a while. Why? Because you've been doing everything by yourself? You came here to complain? No, I wanted to check up on you. Princess, can't you read the mood? You should not have at Varys knocked. No, I'm not gonna point his sword at him. I killed him the first time, please. Don't make me kill him again. I think the smile is the better choice, no? Please, we're so near the... thank you. Yeah, I would apologize. I want to talk to you. I can promise that. Please don't kill him, please don't kill him, please don't kill him, please don't. Please don't kill him, please don't kill him, please don't kill him, please don't kill him. Oh my god. Moment of truth, moment of truth. Why would I be afraid of you? Please don't die, 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 please don't die. I have bad feeling. I killed him. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the options. I can't do this anymore. I'm getting emotionally destroyed. I can't be known as the girl who kills his man. Kills her man all the fucking time. Wait, where is it again? After choices? Oh, here it is. Let's continue just from the start. Wait, how do I know if it's the right one? I don't know the difference. Is it because it's... Wait, let me return settings. It's enabled. Right choice indicator. Return. Where'd it? Return. No. Main menu, yes. Skip. Don't kill him. After a few more scenes, a crystal of varicolored appears on top, right? I think screen features specific sounds to play when blowing or cackling. Wait. Load. It's saying I can find it, it just is by sound. Oh, okay. They will show a crystal on the right. It's terrible. I see it! I can do this. Dekiru, 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 jo dekiru. Slap myself. Let's see if I get a little... Nope. I did not get the little approval. Stand for Russell. I don't... There's no... Where's the crystal? It's there. Okay. Okay. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I can do this. Let's go. Let's not kill him. Please. Okay, there was no indicator, so that was not it. I should stay indoors. Remain inside. On the second thought, it would be dangerous. I turn and see Delora and with a amusing flicker in my eyes. Did you come here to visit Mr. Boom or something? I don't know, you have to have gone that close. We haven't. It was a joke, Princess. You really don't have a sense of humor, do you? Do you think... I think it is you who do not have a sense of humor. Snappy as always, Crocodile. So, what are you doing down here? Couldn't sleep? Me too. I heard some sounds. I wanted to see what they were coming from. Sounds? Are you really spooked by some sound of the forest, or are you just too curious for your own good? Curiosity killed the cat, you know. I did not ask for your opinion, witch. Well, both of us could use some fresh air, don't you think? I stare at her in surprise. Come, I know a place we can go. Okay. Turns out there's a lot of choices that I did not do correctly. I just realized that my Vtuber has a lot of shit on her face because I didn't set it up properly. Because she's better than me. No, because if she had told her, she would have refused and made it difficult afterwards. So you understand, Princess? Of course I understand. I'm not stupid. No, I didn't mean it like that. Don't take offense, Garland. It's just the way she talks. The princess is a fragile flower with her petals always curved inwards. What does that mean? See, if it was your inch, you'd probably know. But she's just as confused as you are. I don't think so. I don't think anyone understands half the fluff Karma speaks. It's because we... This was the right choice? Alright, fine. It's because we weave love and dedication into single one of our words. There's a beauty in deciphering them. No, I was fucked from the start. 1000% the cupcake with the lizard. Even though you said I could pick, then I wanted to pick, and then they're like, "Ooh, you picked wrong. You picked wrong." Tease. Let's see. Yep, that was the correct one. Fight back is also the correct one. I don't know about this one. Which one was it? The eyes? No, it wasn't the eyes. Strange. Nope, wrong one. Let's try the cheeks then. Person's cheeks, maybe? I was just guessing. Why do I feel so foolish? Well, teach their own, I suppose. A smile moves your cheeks too. My princess, maybe I should start trying to do that more definition with my cheeks then. He almost sounds disappointed with me. Okay, that one was not it. She's just like, is this bitch for real? Cheeks? The lips. Was this right? Did I get it right in the first place? Oh my god, I did! That's amazing! And I thought I was wrong. I'm doing my best so I don't have to kill him. That one was correct. Return. Don't move. Oh, that was wrong. Load. Step away from him. I step away from him and Karma's hand falls on my shoulders as he sighs out. The story is just better with a dramatic as mine. Thank you, Roxanne. For what? For agreeing to listen. And for what you just did. Stepping away from him? Was I distracting him? I don't really understand. You have to tell. Oh, is it because when he once kissed... No, was it? He was, like, kissing my hand or was near me. He was like, you have to step away when I do this. Topple him. Oops, whoops, whoops. Was not the right answer. Load. Bite his hand. Save. Return. Let me try comforting him. I don't know if this is the right one. It was not. Stop, 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 stop. Scold him. Correct. Save. Return. Let's run errands first. You need to be not selfish. Save. Return. I don't know which one's better. Huh. Because he liked me when I stepped away from him. Would he like this one better? I'm pretty sure I recognize Claude's hand, but I know it's him. I know what he wants me to do. I duck away from his hand and quickly turn to point my sword. The tip of the wood is at his neck. For a few stunned moments, I think I've won. Even Claude looks surprised. It really is him. But then Claude's hand moved, and he was hand over my wrist and the other sword. Very good, Roxanne. You realized you had an opening, but you broke your concentration. Claude. Oh, he wants me to be actually, you know, good at sword fighting. And until now, I've just been deer in headlights. I want you to smile. Was that not it? There was no... I want a hug. So it took me by surprise. Yep. I would be able to live if he just tells me. Just say I can turn into a beast. I'm sorry? My stubbornness. Claude pulls away from me slightly and raises an elbow. He chuckles. Oh, but your stubbornness is one of the things I like about you. My heart thumps loudly. Like? Oh, I mean... Suddenly he steps back with his hand. I'm fine. Yeah, it's not that. Thank you. I can do this. He likes me when I'm fighting, so I want to keep practicing. If you overexert yourself, but I'm nowhere as good as Jurian and Garland. You still don't want to reconsider going, Princess? No, please stop insisting I reconsider. I will save my father. Claude sighs out and leans to the set of my hands on my head. Roxanne, promise me you'll stay behind if we're attacked. And if at any point it makes... Nope, that was the wrong answer. I want to talk to you. Come talk to me. Save. Return. I promise. Please be correct. It was. Stop. Yes. Don't say I'll never be afraid of you, because that's the same thing the bitch said. Why would I be afraid of you? Oh, was that the wrong answer? I could never be afraid of you. I'm not like her. Okay. I can feel it. We can get a better ending. I don't have to kill you. Please. I can't keep killing my man. That's like treason because he's also a prince. Okay, Beauty and the Beast. Chapter 10. The non-bad ending one. Please, let me save this. Where did the beast come from? Knights immediately rush towards me. I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly, and we'll keep you somewhere safe until this all dies down. I cannot take them all at once. It's just standing there, together. The beast says nothing more, though I still feel on edge. There is something oddly familiar about this. Claude told me once that it was better to fight back to back. I trust you for now, whatever you are. I do not know if it understands me, but I can hope it can seem more like a human than any kind of animal. Princess, get away from the beast. It will... The knights never finish their sentence as the beast sends them flying through the air. Why is it helping me? The knights fall like dominoes to the beast, but manage to remain standing when I strike them with my sword. Even just taking one down is hard. These men have been trained for years, while I haven't had the luxury of a year. Out of the corner of my eyes, I sense movement. I see a gleam of silver and hear a grunt as my sword is raised into the air. The sword is nowhere reaching me, and yet... The beast! I aim to kick an approaching knight before whirling and looking at the beast. The oncoming sword comes closer to the beast's exposed back, and I know the beast will not be able to dodge in time. Move. I move past the creature and catch the knight's sword with my own before I can harm the beast. My arms are shaking underneath, and strength gives the impact between the swords. I feel like my arms are going to give out. Then a flash of light appears, so bright that everyone is temporarily blinded. I stumble back, rubbing my eyes. From the sounds of it, the beast is continuing to drive the knights, most of them shouting at each other to retreat. What was that? When I'm finally able to see again, my eyes are automatically land on my feet. I stare in shock. Whoa. Glass slippers? I quickly reach up to my pendant and realize it's no longer there. I completed my 3 good deeds? Roxanne. It knows my name? I look around and realize that the beast and I are alone. The knights have fled. Did the beast drive off the rest of them? I feel pressure on my back, realizing the beast is touching me. My first instinct is to run, but the words it utters next paralyzes me. You okay? Every word sounds breathless and pained, like it takes too much to speak. Is it worried about me? I watch in shock as the beast appears to gesture towards my shoes. You did it. I step back warily. Who are you? The beast reaches out, and I see something glittering on the palm of his hand. The rose locket. A few moments, my heart plummets into my stomach, and my hands begin to quiver. What did you do to Claude? The beast's shadow fingers curl over the locket even as he stares at me. I gave that locket to Claude. The beast only stares at me for a few moments longer, and then suddenly I realize that his words, nothing more than a pain growl, could not hold any malice. I gave that locket to you? The beast slowly nods. I grasp on my sword, loosens, as stares at him, in shock, realization dawning on me. Claude? Yes. Is this your secret? Why would you not tell me? I would not have hurt you. I could have hurt you. I did hurt you. I killed you in one of the roots. Claude has another form, a cursed form, and he never told me. Why? My mind whirls. I feel like everything's coming like a pieces of a puzzle. Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. If I could speak on them, I would. But I can't. Roxanne, I wish I could explain. You would hate me, or more accurately, you would be afraid of me. All of the times Claude was clutching at his chest. You were touching your tattoo so many times before, like you were in pain. The beast growls. The sound is surprisingly soft, almost a sigh. Curse. Then that tattoo was a warning. The first time I saw that tattoo, it was a beautiful rose. The second time, it had more thorns. When the rose became ensnared with thorns, did he transform? And he always touched his tattoo when he came close to me. Claude, your curse did not make others fall in love with you. It stopped you from loving anyone too, didn't it? I mentioned the woman before, the one who he thought loved him but didn't. Is it possible that she saw him in his form and was terrified of him? If you loved anyone, you would turn into a beast. You loved a woman once, but only loved you because of your curse. The minute you transformed, she was scared of you, wasn't she? Yes. He sounds so pained. The reason Claude had been trying to hide everything from me is because he was scared that I would have feared him. That is why beauty has always been important to him, but the curse cast upon him made him both beautiful and a beast. I wanted you to love me, but no one could love a beast. His words are dwindling. It almost sounds like he's been suffocated on the inside with how slowly he's speaking. Claude, I've never cared so much about appearances. People have worn a mask on their face their entire lives around me. Claude, I take a deep breath and face him. I love you, no matter what form you take. I drop my sword to the ground and make my way over to him. I rest my cheeks on his sword, on his chest, and wrap my arms around him. I love you. The room is filled with bright and gentle light. It almost feels like I'm bathing in sunlight. In a few moments, I forget my worries. Everything feels blissful and quiet, and my heart feels full. Then, moments later, I feel warm arms around my waist. I love you too, Roxanne. When I open my eyes, I still can't see anything, even though I know that the light has faded. The warmth is there too, but now I feel immediately on my skin, and I realize it's because Claude is hugging me. Not as a beast, but as a man. Did I break his curse? I realize that this is the first time Claude has ever touched me in such a long period of time without abruptly moving away. Tentatively, I move my hands, feeling the fabric of his shirt and the warmth of him underneath it. Claude. Before I can finish my sentence, my lips are sealed, and I feel Claude's lips on mine, only briefly, but it's enough to make me feel suddenly faint. He pulls away from me with a beautiful, brilliant smile. I've always wanted to do that. Roxanne, you're blushing. If I could kiss you again, but we have some urgent things to tend to. The reality of the situations began to seep back into me. My father, Varg, Alcaster, they're all still in the throne room. The king! Let's go, Roxanne. He's alive! When Claude and I rush into the throne room, my attention is immediately grabbed by the king calling my name. Roxanne! He's bound to the throne, though. His gag was removed, a rush of relief floods through me. He's alive. He's alive and he remembers me. My gaze is drawn to the two men battling at the base of the throne. Their swords are locked together in stalemate. Alcaster and... Fritz? What has happened here? That is not how you gain power. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I thought that was Fritz. the Varg dude. I knew you'd be thrown from my side the moment I concocted this plan. Where is Varg? The only one here is me, and I will... Fritz's concentration slips as his eyes land on me. An opening is small, but it's enough to give Alcaster the opportunity he needs. Watch out! Claude is already running over to help, but even he is too slow. Alcaster disarms Fritz before driving his sword through Fritz's chest. Ayo! Why is there a death ending everywhere I go? No! Alcaster pulls his sword out of Fritz's chest just fast enough to deflect Claude's attack. As Claude drives Alcaster away from the throne, I rush where Fritz has collapsed to the ground. His eyes are already growing glassy. Fritz! I lean over him. There's so much blood. I glare at Alcaster. How could you do this to your own son? Anyone in my way will meet my sword. Blood does not matter. Princess. I turn back to Fritz in alarm, tears in my eyes. Fritz, hold on. Don't speak. You need to conserve your energy. Princess, I'm sorry. Fritz, please, don't speak. I feel bitter tears singing in my eyes. I'm sorry. I watch as this life seeps from Fritz's eyes. I put my hand to his chest to feel his heartbeat, but Fritz's body is still still. Fritz! I glance up at the sound to see Claude at the far right of my room, struggling to get through his feet. Roxanne, watch out! I turn, but I'm not fast enough. I see Alcaster's sword raised high up in the air. I know it will reach me before I can pick up my sword. The sword falls from Alcaster's hand, with a bright red ribbon of light twines around the hilt and drags it from the far reach. I see as Delora is standing there from a short distance, Jurian, Yarlin, and Waltz all standing behind her. I'm afraid your performance as king has been incredibly disappointing. Jurian and Garland move together, rushing Alcaster in the same side. I see Claude moving in the other side, quiet and lethal. Princess! Waltz and Delora rush over me. As fighting continues, Alcaster has reclaimed the sword and is trying to evade attacks from these three different swords at once. The king. Waltz nods at me, his glaze lingering on Fritz as his expression becomes sullen. He walks off the throne, while Delora kneels beside me. Delora shakes her head, and that is all I need to know is there's nothing more to be done. I'll make sure he's properly honored, but for now, we need to get you out of here. What about Ophelia? Waiting for us somewhere safe, I constructed a shield around her that will keep her hidden from view and harm until we return for her. Were we meant to bring the royal family back to the Marchand first? Not when we're missing the king. Besides, plans change when a magical beast starts rampaging in the castle. Princess! I look to see Alcaster, who is somehow managing to scream my name despite the fact that he's being so quickly overwhelmed. Princess, we could have worked together. If you were more like your mother, we could have ruled with grace, beauty, and fear. I flinch back and Delora's hand comes to rest on my forearms, her grip steadying. That is enough. I look up to see that the king has stopped to stand beside me. To my surprise, the king rests his gentle hand on my shoulder, his eyes soft when he looks at me. Roxanne, we have a lot to talk about, but right now there's something I have to do. I nod mutely, and I watch the king draw his sword. Let me kill a man first, real quick, just like 10 seconds. He makes his way to Alcaster, Jurian, Garland, and Claude steps back to see where they have forced Alcaster to one knee. You're a traitor lacking any honor, Alcaster. You're the one who lacked honor. A ruler must have the people beneath his thumb. A ruler must lead people, not suffocate them. His oath as king is to protect them. You're no king, Alcaster. For your crimes, I find you guilty and incapable of rehabilitation. The sentence for your severity is your crime is death. A king raises his sword, and I turn before he strikes down his sword. There is no sound or scream to follow. I turn once more to see that the king has pointed his sword at Alcaster's chest, but has not killed him. Oh, useless! You will stay in prisons until the time of your trial comes. Though you might try to refute these claims, you will be tried as a traitor to this kingdom. And then you will be executed. Alcaster's shoulders fall. The glare never leaves his face, not even when the guard sees him and dragging along from his room. The king immediately sends Jurin and Garland to deal with the knights that are still in part of the coup. Delora and Claude helps with moving of Fritz's body, while Waltz tries his best to fill the king in one of his basic points of our successful operation. Everything has died down a little bit over the past hour, and I still feel overwhelmed. I glance at Waltz and the king, who are still speaking. Every time I see the king looking at him, he flashes an uncertain smile before glancing away. I know he wants to speak with me, but I will talk to him after I can get Fritz's body out of my mind. It was my fault he died, wasn't it? He saw me and stumbled. Hey, princess, what are you doing here? I thought you changed, but you still got that feistiness in you, don't you? Many years ago, when the war ended, we were still facing with feeling much like this princess. We had lost so much, and the future seemed so grim. But now it's different. You have a future. You broke your purse, princess. That gives you some kind of hope, and in addition, you broke Karma's. Memories of Claude's arms around me, of his lips on mine, come flying back to my foggy memory. My heart still feels tight, but it's a little longer when I think about him. I wish he was here right now. How did I break Claude's curse? Claude, I don't think I'll ever get used to his real name. Seems like he hasn't told you. It's been pretty hectic. So Claude turned into a beast because he loved me? Well, I guess I could give you the laydown of his curse. Stop. Desist. Delora hasn't even started to speak when Claude runs into his room, gasping as if he's been running through the halls. Curse? Are you speaking about my curse? There's no way here about us talking in the hallway, is there? Even I feel at the loss of words right now. I sense that you might be talking about me. The princess and I was just asking about your curse. Oh, then I was right to come running, and I was here just guessing at what you might be talking about. Claude's curse was based off fairy tale Beauty and the Beast. Claude easily finishes his sentence. Delora holds up her hand as if she is in surrendering, so eager to steal the spotlight. Well, you are talking about me after all. You always told me your curse was just Beauty's curse, though. Well, yes, because the other half was a little bit difficult to explain, wasn't it? He has a point, though I think he might have been able to save us all some trouble if he hadn't been so secretive about his curse. He must have been really scared that I would shun him. Allow me to explain, princess. In the fairy tale, a prince of the kingdom is transformed into a beast because his heart is cold as ice. Sounds familiar to a certain icy princess, eh? Trying to lighten the mood. Claude sighs. I could call Roxanne something far more flattering, like my sweet beloved. We were talking about your curse? Alright, well, anyway, the witch who had cursed the prince in the tale tells him that he has to learn love and to be loved before the petals of the rose completely falls off. A rose? Yes, she gave him a rose and he keeps it protected under some glass. Some time passes and the rose continues to wither away. A maiden finds the beast and eventually the two fall in love. At the end of the tale, she confesses her love to the beast and he transfers back into a human. By confessing, I saved you? But his curse was different from the tale. I know what you're thinking, the curse was somewhat different. It was more complicated. The witch made it so that I would be both Beauty and the Beast. She said it suited me because I was so vain. The witch constructed a very roundabout curse. Any woman who falls in love with me as the Beauty. And when I transform into a beast, the enchantment would break and they would be so afraid of me. I doubt Claude ever thought he could break his curse. The love woman felt for him for a while he was cursed was always fake. How could that kind of love hold strong when he turned into a beast if he was never true to begin with? Then you came wrong, princess. I bet he'd just been given about hope and he was waiting for you to dispel your curse on your birthday. But now, here we both are. But the Ice Princess, in love? What a miracle. I turn away, embarrassed. It is not a miracle. I'm very glad I met you, Roxanne. Lady Laura's words are the truth. I just give up hope. I never had hopes about breaking my curse. I thought the only way to fix it was have you dispel it on your birthday. But then I came to know you, and you fell in love, a fairy tale indeed. You started frowning at everyone and everything. You've come such a long way, princess. Congratulations, you turned out to be a pretty okay princess. And you turned out to be a pretty okay witch. Gasp! Do my ears deceive me? A compliment from our little witch? You look so surprised, but you'll be the new bearer of our crystal real soon, princess. I expect good things from you. Oh, right, I almost forgot about that part. I'll try my best. Yet another miraculous proclamation from the little witch. Will surprises never cease? Before I snap at Delora again, the king awkwardly injects, coming to stand with us, with Waltz by his side. Pardon the intrusion? Oh, not at all, your majesty. Waltz told me you were cursed, that's why I forgot about you. Yes. Even if it was a curse, I feel terrible that such a thing could have ever happened. So, I will make it up to you. We can catch up from where we were many, many years ago, and maybe things could be different. Can I just get married to Karma and leave this country? I don't really want to reconcile with you. I'm sorry. What for? For being the way I was before, for shunning Ophelia and her children. I'm not really sorry, but okay. Oh, Ophelia, did they bring her back to the Martian? Ophelia's still here. After the fight was over, she was shown back to her room. She's still waiting for Rod and Emmeline to return. Now, would you maybe be willing to tell me the story of yours from start to beginning? Perhaps I could fill in the gaps, your majesty. Claude? The king looks startled when he looks at Claude. He blinks as if he's just noticed his presence. Oh, and you are? Claude elegantly bows before the king. I'm the Prince Claude of Britannia. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, your majesty. The lost prince? The king turns to me with a puzzled look. It's a long story. Claude surprises me by wrapping an arm around my shoulder and pulling me closer to him. Everyone looks shocked except Delora, she's trying not to laugh. As the princess's lover, I feel like it's my obligation to explain this whole mess. I feel my face getting hotter at Claude's certain proclamation, and their eyes are now on me, and suddenly I feel like hiding myself. Only Claude could so bluntly say such a thing. The king looks more shocked than ever. When did this happen? None of your business. Well, your majesty, I think we better start at the beginning. We were able to tell the king everything, save for when Varg had disappeared too. No one knows for sure we had gone in all the chaos. The knights searched for him all the way, which ended in failure. There's a lot of explaining to be done, not just to the king, but to those people in the tavern. As soon as everything has calmed down, Rod and Emmeline finally went back to the palace. I apologized to them best that I could, and they all seemed willing to try again with me. I'm willing to try too. As for Claude... So, you're really going back? Are you sure you don't want me to come to Are you sure you don't want to come to Britannia with me? Just for a short holiday? I would love nothing but to introduce you to my family. Mother would shower you with gifts. Father would, well, tease you probably. He would make jokes frequently. And Llama? Did you just say Llama? He has a pet llama? My brother, Llama. What? Another acronym for Karma and Llama. Does your father do these things to you on purpose? I told you he likes jokes. My brother's real name is Lance. I was going to bring you back and introduce you to. And you can tell my little brother how charming I am. Is it my imagination, or is there a glimmer of competition in his eyes? As much as I'd like to meet your family, you have your own obligations here. And you at least need to tell your family that you're safe and alive. But I thought of being separated from you. Claude sighs before he leans down and plants a kiss on my forehead. I'll miss you. You won't be gone that long. Love, that's not how you're supposed to respond. You're supposed to say, my sweet prince, I'll miss you too. Why is this so loud all of a sudden? Fine, then. I'll miss you too. Maybe. Claude raises an eyebrow at me and then smiles. I'll be back for your birthday. I love you, Roxanne. It's only been a few weeks since Claude left, but I'm impatient. The king has been throwing a grand dinners every night in preparation for my birthday, but I can hardly concentrate on anyone when I'm thinking only about Claude. I told him all about the smaller birthday celebration. I thought he would be there for them. My birthday's in a few days. Will he come back? I tried to make myself busy, mainly by continuing my sword practices with Girion and Garland, who has both rejoined the Order of Caldera. Every time around the night, I think of Fritz. I shall bring him some new flowers tomorrow. If Claude could just return already, we could go pay our respects together. Hello, Roxanne, my love, my sunshine, my beautiful betrothed. Claude? I shake my head and gather my thoughts. First of all, you did not knock. Second, we are not engaged. We may as well be, don't you think? At the very least, knock before you come in. Still worried I come on you in the middle of changing? Would you have minded so terribly? Yes. It's worth saying these things just to see you blush. Why are you even here? His arrival is so sudden that I have absolutely no time to prepare. Claude sighs dramatically. You didn't want me back here? No, I mean, you didn't even write back when I said you'd be right to say you'd be back today. I just wasn't expecting you. I did say I would be back for your birthday. I'm a man of my word. Should I have stayed out longer? No, of course not. I grumble as Claude walks over my bed, grinning. He sits down next to me and wraps an arm around my waist, pulling me closer. I sigh out and lean my head on his shoulder. It is a startling contrast to what has been before. Before, if I touched him, he would flinch and turn away from me. Now he's always right next to me. Claude's whole body seems to relax when I tentatively wrap my arms around him and hug him back. I knew I would miss you, but it was really terrible being away from you. You enjoyed time with your family. I did. My brother was very frustrated that I spoke about you every hour of the day. How could you have that much to say about me? Oh, I felt I didn't have enough to list all of your virtues. I nudged him in the arm, but he grins at me. A glint of Claude's pocket catches my eyes, and I flush proudly when I notice a rose locket. Looking at the locket makes me think back to the night when he transformed back into a prince. Lost in thought, are we? I was just noticing the locket. You still carry it around with you. Of course I do. It has become my most valuable possession. He pulls a little locket out and pops it open. I'm startled when I see a little sheet of paper of my own words on it. My message to him is still there. Claude smiles and reads the word out loud. A normal rose would have withered, so I offer this one instead, in heartfelt thanks. I say nothing when he looks at me. Aw, your cheeks are red again. Your embarrassment is adorable, darling. I'm not embarrassed. I just didn't think he'd keep those words in there, or what they would ever mean so much to him. Yes, of course, you just have exceptionally rosy cheeks. He pauses as he closes the locket again and looks at it fondly. I love this locket because it's the first gift you gave me. He was holding the locket as a beast too. It was half the reason I was able to recognize him. I jump as Claude gently taps my nose with his finger. The locket isn't going anywhere anytime soon, I can assure you. I smile as he winks at me. Anyway, allow me to pull you back into the present. Since I promised no more secrets, let me tell you something. No? Claude looks away from me, his eyes furrowing as I frown. I hope it's nothing serious. I'm nervous to be sitting down to dinner with your father tonight. You're nervous? I start laughing even without meaning to. You're laughing at my pain, princess. He pulls me closer and kisses on top of my head. But you're too flamboyant to be nervous. I'm confident, princess, not flamboyant. There's a difference. Right. Claude's expression grows more solemn. He looks at me seriously, almost sadly. Roxanne, I'm still sorry about lying to you. The whole time I made myself up to be someone beautiful, someone I wasn't. I believed I was truly a good person on the inside and that I deserved good things even though I was selfish. He already apologized to me before, too many times. Claude, you do not have to apologize. No, that which was right to curse me. I always had everything handed to me on a silver platter. When I came to Agile, I believed that it wasn't gonna help break my curse, and it wasn't important. And then I met you. At first, I thought I would dispel. It would just have to go. What? At first, I thought I would just have to get on your good side so you could help me dispel my curse. But then, Roxanne, I realized I was drawn to your confidence and commitment. But I could never admit that I was in love with you. I was scared that if I transformed into a beast, you would be scared of me, and I would lose my chance at winning your heart. So you see, Princess, I was selfish. I wanted all of you without having to see all of me. I looked down to where our hands intertwined. I gripped his finger tighter. I told you enough times that you have nothing to apologize for. But if you insist on apologizing, maybe you ought to do something to make it up to me. Those words out of my lips before I can I think them, I stopped suddenly, trying to ignore the hot flush in my face. Claude looks at me, puzzled for a few moments. I feel triumph that I had caught him off guard. Then the puzzled look fades, and Claude just grins at me. Oh my, so bored. Bored? I open my mouth to apologize when he suddenly grabs my hand and tugs me down to the bed. The instinct Claude has told me in sword fighting are quickly overwhelmed by my surprise, and in no time he had pinned me down to the bed, and is looming above me, smiling. I'm disappointed. Princess, you knew my weakness, and you didn't even exploit it. Your weakness? Yes. He leans closer, our nose almost touch. My weakness is you, Roxanne. Aww. He leans down and our lips finally meet. I relax through the contact, my earlier tension melting away as warmth flows through me. He pulls away and smiles at me. See, I let my guard down in front of you. I let my guard down in front of him too. And only him. This whole time I wanted to do is able to touch him like this. His fingers move gently up my arm and he kisses me down. He leans down to kiss me again. The sound of knocking startles both of us. A muffled voice comes from the door. Princess, the king is requesting your presence in the dining hall. He says that your friends have arrived. I have friends? Princess? I hear the doorknob turn, and quickly speak. Yes, I'll be there in a minute. I will let him know, Princess. First the curse, and now this. It's as if the world is conspiring against us. He kisses me once more on the forehead before slowly sitting up and running his hand through his hair. I catch the mischievous look on his eyes as I smooth down my own ruffled hair. Don't worry, Roxanne. We'll just finish this later. I feel my cheeks flush. You say such uncouth things. Claude chuckles before he stands up and offers his hand. I take it and smile at him. I love you, Roxanne, and I will get to say it as many times as I like. I love you too, Claude. I stand up on my toes to plant a kiss on his lips before heading to the door. Let's go, Claude. Oh my god, this was such a sweet ending. All I had to do was kill him like 3 times. How is this a free game? God damn. Also, Roxanne is a much bigger person than I am because the ending's like she apologized to her family and she's being friends with them again and she's not being mean anymore, and I'm just like, well, you don't have to be mean to them, but you don't have to be nice to them either. No, regardless, Roxanne in game learned her lesson. She's nicer now. She won't fire people because they're bad at their jobs anymore. She will love the townsfolk, even though they hate her. I'm sure they still hate her. I don't understand why they wouldn't. But it's okay because I got with Claude, who's a neighboring prince, and I'll go run to Bulgaria and then just live there. And then, this country can go fuck itself. Maybe I need to do 3 good things, but nah. My good thing is playing this game. Thank you for playing Cinderella Phenomenon. Daisuki. Oh, Daisuki. Yay! Let me check the gallery. Did I get all of Karma's? I did! The bad end, when I killed him. Not on purpose, I swear. Whose dreams? Oh, when mother was abusive, okay. Whether I will continue play this game, who knows. But for now, this is the end of the stream. It was a good game, good food. Oh my god, he's here now! Ah, I love these little touches. Beauty and the Beast, Little Red Riding Hood, Rumpelstiltskin, The Mermaid's Curse. This is most likely Neverland Curse. Okay, bye bye.